My style? You could call it the art of trying without trying. I'm Ray Myers. Welcome to Craft versus Cruft. This might be a little bit of a hard one, honestly, but this isn't a tutorial channel. This is primarily a channel to try and capture what I feel are the most essential insights as you're growing a career in software development. And this is an important one. So let me set the scene for you. The other day, I'm talking to someone that has been in the industry about as long as I have, about 15 years, a little more, and is probably more accomplished than me. And I was telling her I was writing a book, which I haven't mentioned to you all yet, but I will. It's called The Most Tangled Chord. Surprise, surprise. And it's about finding ways to improve your software system and everything around it, right? Your environment, your situation as an individual contributor. And she posed the question, maybe not in so many words, but what's the point? Oftentimes when I say that I'm very interested in improving my environment, people say I should be going into management, right? Because as an individual contributor, there's just so much that's out of your control. So she poses the point, no matter how well you do, somewhere up the chain, some jerk might just decide to wipe it all away for no apparent reason from your perspective. If I sat here and told you, boy, if you just learn to advocate better, or if you just learn to speak business speak, or read all the right books and say all the right mantras, that won't happen to you, I would be lying. Because she's absolutely right. That's something that's been made abundantly clear to me over the last 5 years is at any given moment, someone you may never meet will wake up, flip a coin like freaking Two-Face from Batman, and decide to throw all your friends' work away. And maybe if you knew the actual context of what happened in that decision, it would be a little more rational than that. Or maybe sometimes it wouldn't be. But you'll never know, in all likelihood. And there may be nothing you can do. This poses a problem for individual contributors that care. Caring as an individual contributor is a psychological hazard in the long term. Because it is very emotionally difficult to reconcile with having a strong investment in our work and the future of our projects and everything they say we should be caring about. It's hard to reconcile that with the ultimate lack of agency that we're still going to have at any level of seniority. So today is about just how I personally navigate that dilemma. You may have another way that works for you, but find something that works for you. The two strategies I see generally understood as you wake up to this reality is to either stop caring, right, apathy, or burnout. Neither of these things sound good. Apathy might be the better of the two. If I could wave a magic wand and say, I just am not going to care anymore, that might be the healthy choice. Like, I'm not saying that people that have been worn down into that path, or maybe just never did care, that they're wrong per se, because that might be the rational choice. But I'm not built like that. I'm not built to not care about my work. I need to care about my work. I need to take pride in it. Maybe I need to manage the degree to which I'm personally invested in it. But not caring is a non-starter for me. And I'm not going to go out there and tell the people around me not to care either. I want to give them hope. That is, I feel, one of my major purposes in life is to give hope to people who want to do well at their work. But not if it means burnout. That's not good either, not to the detriment of health. And I don't think you need to compromise your health to do great work. I don't think we should create environments that ask that of people. But then what of the Thanos snap? Right? If we're going to be very prideful and personally invested in doing a good job, and for reasons completely outside of our hands, it can just be upended like this. How do we deal with that? And just to put an even finer point on this, the same day that she posed that question to me, one of the best developers that I've ever worked with was laid off from their company. The entire development wing was laid off because that company just decided they were pivoting away from doing software development. They just hired all these talented people and realized, oh, I guess we don't even want to develop software. What can I tell someone who's affected by situations like that and wants to know if there's any point in trying anymore? What if you just try harder, that won't happen to you again? It might well. It might well, no matter how hard you try. I mean, to some degree, the amount of stress you're going to put on yourself, you should probably manage it knowing that that could happen. But again, I don't think that means we stop caring. The best way that I know to thread that needle comes from Taoism, and it's a concept called WOAY. Literally, actionless action, unaction, no action, translations of that nature. And I'll tell you how I interpret it. You're going to hear different interpretations of it. But this is kind of my ideal in how I want to live my life and my career. I may never reach my ideal, but this is what I'm going for. Wu-Wei is not simply inaction. It's not doing nothing. But it is a lack of emotional investment in the result of what you're doing. You still are going in and doing the best you can. But you are not tied to whether on this particular day it's going to have any particular result. You're just achieving a state of mastery where doing well is almost effortless. And if you want to go in and have a positive influence on a situation, that's a good way to build some stamina. Every day you're planting some seeds. Some of them are going to grow. Some of them will be watered. Some of them won't. That may be someone else's problem right now. You planted them. You did what you could. And you will accomplish great things by lowering the personal stakes to you of every time you attempt. We're not talking about doing less well. We're talking about making it sustainable to do well. Not being so tied to the outcome that you become personally exhausted every time you do well and it doesn't pan out, because it won't always. May your code last 1,000 years. But when it's all gone, tomorrow, next week, or next millennium, all that's left is how we treated each other. And as Lao Tzu said in the Tao Te Ching, with patience, the most tangled cord may be undone. Thank you.